let's not deny the people who support Trump are dark souls. It's missing souls. This is what I'm talking about. This is not okay. Not everybody that voted for that man thought that things were going to go this way. Not everybody that supported this man, that voted for this man, voted specifically for Alligator Alcatraz. This is the division that I'm talking about. This right here. This is what needs to stop. We need to stop doing that. This is what they wanted. So long as we can sit here and say that there are people who are dark souls because of who they voted for, that's everything we need to allow them to continue to divide us. I don't think people understand that many people voted for Trump for good reasons. The Democrats were not doing a good job either. And here's the thing. Both parties hate us. Both parties don't give a fuck about us. I didn't vote for Trump. I voted for Jill Stein. But I know that many people voted for Trump because that mentality that they've trained us all to believe that if we throw our vote away to a third party, it's a vote for either or side. I've never cried more in my life under a presidency than I cried under the Biden presidency. October 7th, until it was done, I watched our elected officials under a Biden presidency, under a Kamala vice presidency, send money to fund a genocide. The number of shredded children I saw in my social media feeds that were that way because a Biden-Kamala presidency funded it had me beside myself, horrified, brokenhearted, almost daily. If someone had forced me to vote either or, Kamala or Trump, I would have voted for Trump. Not because I like Trump, but because I could not in good conscience vote for somebody that I'd already watched for a year and a half fund a genocide. And I would want to hope with everything in my body that somebody else wouldn't do that. Now, doing enough research, would I have to believe that it was very likely that he would continue this policy? Yes. But at least I would not have seen and watched it for a year and a half. They're not giving us good options on purpose. They have plans for us that have nothing to do with what we want. People who support Trump are not dark souls. The people that create and feed into the system, that continue to work to divide us, to get us to where we're thinking each other are dark souls, those people are those that have dark souls. The people that have created the system of division, created the system where it doesn't matter that the majority of Americans do not want to send our hard-earned tax dollars overseas to fund a genocide or another country's healthcare when we don't have healthcare for ourselves. So no, I'm not going to play into the, well, let's not pretend that people that voted for Trump are not pieces of shit. Like, no, I'm not doing that. The fact that we only had Trump and Kamala to choose between, whoever created that system, whoever allowed that, those are the people with dark souls. I don't blame the people that had to vote for either or, because it's either someone that was currently conducting a genocide or someone who probably would conduct a genocide, is how a lot of people voted. So no, I'm not doing that. Like, we're all trapped, we're all cornered, we're all essentially not free when you have two shitty fucking choices and you can't get any of them to listen to you, and we supposedly live in a democracy. We're not free. The system is crooked. And we're going to sit around and point fingers at people for their voting choices when they didn't have good choices to begin with? No, we need to stop that. That's why we're so divided. That's why they're able to get us where we're at today. So no, I'm not going to do that. So it's my opinion. I'm not going to, turn against any fellow American because of who they voted for, because nobody had good options. So anyway, that's it. Hydrate codeine.